Okay, guys, so for those of you guys who paid attention last night, the U.S. entered into the Israeli-Iran conflict by dropping what's called bunker bombs into Iranian nuclear facilities and destroying them. 3 specific targets were destroyed by the United States military, and the question that everybody's asking is what's coming next. And since this is a crypto channel and a finance channel, we're going to talk about how this affects your crypto bags and how this affects all financial markets in general. Okay, so we're going to dive into that, but before I do, I need to make it very, very clear that this video is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your financial counselor. What you decide to do with your money is up to you, and you need to take responsibility for your buys and your sells. Here's what we're not going to do, right? We're not going to get into a moral argument. We're not going to get into a political, which side of the political spectrum that I'm on. That's not what this channel is for, guys. This is a crypto channel, and we're here to analyze financial markets and how this is going to affect you and your positions in the crypto market and in financial markets in general, okay? So what this has essentially done is this has essentially put the United States in the middle of this conflict between Israel and Iran. For those of you guys who don't know, Israel and Iran are at a very, very strong conflict in the Middle East right now. It's resulted in bombings on both sides. And as of right now, now that the U.S. has entered into the conflict, it seems to me like Iran is crippled, to say the least, okay? Now, do I think that there likely will be a retaliation from Iran? I'm almost certain that there will be a retaliation from Iran onto the U.S. embassies in the Middle East, or maybe even Israel. Who knows what could happen, okay? The biggest thing that we need to talk about here and how this conflict can escalate and how Iran's retaliation can actually affect markets is the closing of what's called the Strait of Hormuz, okay? Now, for those of you guys who don't know, the Strait of Hormuz is an area that goes through Iran from the West and other parts of the Middle East that transports about 1/5 of the oil in the entire world, okay? So what this means is that if Iran retaliates and closes the Strait of Hormuz, even in the short term, that will result in what's called an energy crisis around the world, okay? 1/5 of the oil will not be transported to places like China, which is Iran's biggest customer, and other countries in the East. That could very, very affect the oil price, okay? Now, if the oil price shoots up, that's gonna cause what we've been talking about on this channel, which is inflation. Inflation on the US dollar, the petrodollar, and all these countries will bid up the oil price, which will make a massive effect on the economy. That's gas prices going up, that's energy prices going up, which affects businesses, which affects everything around the world in the economy, okay? So what does this mean? That will lead to inflation. And what will this also lead to? What does this whole conflict lead to in general? It leads to what uncertainty, okay? Uncertainty, markets do not like uncertainty. This conflict, the U.S. getting involved in this conflict and waiting for Iran's retaliation or not retaliation, whatever the case may be, markets do not like this. And for that reason, I think it's pretty likely that we're going to see a correction in the crypto market. We're going to see Bitcoin, we're going to see the cryptocurrency markets dip down to the low 90Ks. I believe it just dipped below 100 this week. Regular markets open. I'm assuming that we're going to see a dip in all financial assets, specifically risk-on assets like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in the short term, okay? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is a massive opportunity for you guys to buy dips and for you guys to buy assets cheap and on the low. Obviously, I'm not happy about anybody getting hurt in wars on Israel's side, Iran side, and especially not US side. But with that being said, we're going to talk about how this will affect the markets, how this will affect cryptocurrency, and how this will affect your bags. So long story short, you guys, this is an opportunity to buy cheap assets, buy the dip, and just pay attention a little bit closely on the war and see how it escalates. The best thing that Iran could do, or the most impactful thing that they could do, is they could close, or they could try to close the Strait of Hormuz for a short period of time until the U.S. gets involved. If the U.S. gets involved, then it's most likely going to be a 1 to 2 week period, and then with that, market clarity could send the market back up. But for right now, we're going to enjoy this dip. We're going to see discounts, and we're going to take advantage of fear, just like we always do on this channel. So if you guys have any comments, and let me know what you guys think about this, but that's essentially the thesis of this. The Iran's retaliation, the biggest thing that they could do is they could close the Strait of Hormuz, and they could shoot the oil price up in the short term, and they could block about 1/5 of the oil production that's going through the world, okay? So, with that being said, if you guys like this video, if you guys find value in this video, I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comments. I want you guys to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like the video, okay? Instagram, Chase Your Grace, TikTok, Chase Your Grace. More crypto content's coming out. This is a geopolitical conversation, but I wanted to dig deep in this one and talk about how this affects the crypto market, how this affects all financial markets. Oil going up, inflation likely going up, dip in the crypto market in the short term. Long term, it's going to result in more clarity, and it's going to result in higher inflation, which means the scarce assets go up, which means that we get wealthier because we own assets and we're putting in the work. So thank you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed Sunday. Thank you and bless up.